2. Hello. If you were watching this video, it means we're all on lockdown, which is pretty lame. However, you have martial arts instructors here to give you your lessons, even though you can't be here, which is pretty great. So, we're going to get you caught up on Crushing Hammer from last lesson. It got cut off because we ran out of memory. What did we run out of? I don't know.
We ran out of memory, for sure.
Is that what we ran?
We also ran out of cupcakes.
And the ginkgo biloba, maybe? Anyway,
Probably so.
we're going to make up Crushing Hammer for you to make sure you have a good idea on what that's like for those of you that are red belt and above. And then we're going to go into the punch technique, which is for week 2 of this module. So we have Sleeper, Dance of Death, and Thundering Hammers. All great techniques, lots of fun. We're going to break it down as best as we can for you to practice off of and train at home. For our adults, we're going to be releasing workout videos separate to this because those will probably be longer videos, and it helps our upload times. And then you can kind of pinpoint specifically what you want to work on when you're at home through the video. So to start off with Crushing Hammer, this is a bear hug from behind. And a lot of times they're slamming into us and we're stumbling forward, so I can plant my foot and do my hammer to the groin. I'm always going to repeat this until they loosen up so I can get my foot up and then behind as I do another hammer. I'm going to rotate my foot in and then step. My foot's behind their foot and my leg is beside their leg. My guards come up. As I do this, if I clip them, that's fine, but it's not a must. After I hammer and I do my pivots, I lift my guard up. I'm going to find just above the solar plexus, and I'm going to drive forward in and down to the floor, trying to get them to go down, and then I would do my cover out as I'm done. So again, from that same angle, they're bear hugging us. I'm going to plant and hammer. He loosened up, I slide over, and I go back and hammer. And then I rotate 1, 2, my guard is up. I don't want my hand this way. This might feel natural. If I was going to treat this like a hook punch, boom, and just hit real hard, that'd be fine. But I'm trying to clear and press to get him to go down to the floor as best I can so that I can make my exit the other way as I do my cover out. If we change the angle on this and he's bear hugging, I plant and I hammer. I come over and around and I hammer. I'm going to pivot. Sometimes I get an adjustment step because the more I can line up with the center line, the more influence I'll have. My fingers point to the right as I press down, forward, and in this way to get him to go down, and then I make my exit. That's Crushing Hammer. If we were to do it together, my left hand pins, and I'm going to brace with that left foot, and I'm going to hit with the right. I'm going to bring them together and then step back, and my hammer lands as my heel does. I pivot the left toes, then I pivot the right toes, and as I go from one to the other, I lift my guard up, and I start to adjust to the center line, and I press forward, down, and in. Again, for Crushing Hammers, I grab, brace, and hammer, slide over, and back and hammer, pivot as the guard comes up, pivot, and press. And that's Crushing Hammer. So I hope you find that helpful. I'm sorry that it got clipped off the last video, but we wanted to make sure you had that. Crashing Wings for Phase 1 and Spiraling Twig for Phase 2 are on that other Panther/adult video. You should be able to access those on YouTube. If you can't, please let us know and we'll help make sure you get the video. So now for this week, punch techniques. Punch techniques are up. We're going to start off with Sleeper. And with Sleeper, once you jump to the other side, Mr. Burton, he's coming with that punch to the face. I don't want to be there. So whether I'm starting natural or in a guarding stance already, as the punch comes in, I'm forward and away. As I do that, I take this hand and I try my best to find the elbow to clear my face. As this is happening, I send my Sneaky Pete, this other hand, to the jugular and carotid vein and artery. When I hit these well, it forces blood up into the brain and forces blood away down into the body cavity. So they get this rush overloaded sensation, kind of like when you hang upside down. But then as the blood drains, because we forced other blood down, there's not as much to resupply right away, and then you get that lightheaded, I stood up too fast feeling. And the combination of those back and forth makes them very drowsy. Drowsy? How did you say? Anyway, they're not going to like it. And so that's the idea on my entry. Where I'm going to go from there is I'm going to reach all the way around him until I get my own hand or my own arm. I'm going to squeeze my elbows in, and I'm going to pull him to me. Let's rotate around. And as I pull him to me and I'm squeezing with my elbows, I'm going to find the corner of my head and my shoulder, and now I'm going to squeeze him like I haven't seen him in a year, right? And that's going to start to restrict that blood flow to encourage them to pass out. So to recap just those points, punch comes in, I'm out of the way, and I strike. After I strike, I grab, squeeze, and pull to here. Once I feel I have it secured, I'm going to bring my back foot forward, and then my forward foot straight behind them. And I'm going to bring them down to my leg, and I'm going to continue to hold this until they pass out. Once they pass out, I'm going to drop them to the floor. From here I can leave, but if they start to wake, I'm going to drop my knee to their hip, and I'm going to punch to the face and finish. That's my sleeper. So one time all the way through, he punches, 1, 2, and I bring him 2. I slide and step, I bring him back, and then I drop, boom, and then I have my finish, and that's sleeper. Let's do it in the air a couple times. Punch comes in. I'm not moving backwards, but I'm actually going to move forwards to the side as I parry, and I ridge hand, landing with where the hand and the forearm meet in my wrist, and then I'm going to reach around and grab. One way, other way, whatever feels most secure. I'm going to squeeze my elbows together as I bring them in and push with the corner of my head. And then I'm going to slide my feet together, and then I slide them back, and I bring them to my leg. And then I drop them, and then if they happen to get back up, I drop and punch, and then I would make my exit in the opposite direction. And that's sleeper. Next up, we have Dance of Death. Dance of Death is similar in the entry. He's throwing the punch. Again, I move forward and parry. Instead of going high, I'm going to go low to the groin. So he throws the punch, and now I'm slipping and I'm hitting low. It's very fun. It's easy to find that target. I want us to focus on our feet. So as this comes in, 1, 2, next I'm going to grab the back of his leg with my left hand. And I'm going to pull it to the outside of my left hip as I step forward this way. I'm going to drive him down with my right arm. I still have the leg. Sometimes this one swings up, so we have a back fist to knock it down, and then I hammer to the groin. Then I take the leg and I throw it over, and then I leave in the opposite direction. Dance of Death, he throws. 1, 2, I grab, come down, and then I have my final hit. I can get fancy with the flip if I want, but it's not necessary. Really, all you have to do is just throw it. In the air for Dance of Death, we're going to step forward and parry and strike low. I'm going to grab and pull to the outside of my left hip. If I don't, I make them hit me in the groin, which is foolish. As I pull to the outside hip, I step forward and drive my forearm into the pelvis towards the ground to knock them down. I do a back fist to clear the leg, and then I hammer to the groin, and then I throw it away, and then I do my cover out. And that's Dance of Death. Last time on Dance of Death, step forward, parry, strike low to the groin, grab, step forward, take them down, back fist, hammer fist, grab the leg and throw it, and then I do my cover. Last one is Thundering Hammers, and this is all about the Elvis hips. So as Mr. Burton throws me his punch, this time I'm going to step backwards as I parry. Then I'm going to rock my weight forward and try to get his leg with my knee. As I do that, I'm also going to do a reverse hammer to his solar plexus. So he throws the punch, and I block, and I shuffle in, 1, 2. The hand that just hit his stomach goes under and around to an outward block to the outside of his arm. I'm going to take my opposite knee and punch the back of his knee with it as I hammer to the kidney. I'm going to check over and down on the arm. Then I'm going to drop this knee as I hit him in the back of the neck. And that's thundering hammers. We'll go from the other angle so you can see better what's happening on the posterior side. He throws the punch, 1, 2, finding that leg as I find his solar plexus. This comes down and around. I'm going to punch the back of his knee with my knee as I hit to the kidney here. Then I'm going to contour the shoulders, press the arm down and in, and then I drop my knee again as I hit to the back of the neck, and that's thundering hammers. So he throws all the way through, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 5, and then I'm done, and I would exit my right. Your left, their left, my right, your left.
The direction.
Right, left, the direction.
The way.
Okay? This is the way. I have spoken. All right, extension for sleeper. This is for my adult black belts. Youth masters, you're doing sleeper. Adult black belts are doing the extension on sleeper. So he throws the punch. Everything stays the same up to when we had, until it's time for me to drop him down. When I drop him down, I keep the arm. The more he's on his side, the better. Because now, I'm going to take my right hand, go between my body and his arm, into his collar. Then the other hand, my left hand, goes in front of the body to here and grabs the collar. I'm going to lift and flip him over onto his face. We call that a concrete facial, because you would lift and slam their face into the ground. I'm going to drop my knee to his shoulder as I hit to the ear, and then I'm going to take my right foot and stomp down into the groin as I hit to the head again. I'm going to step over the body and drop my knee to the spine, thoracic or cervical, and then I'm done, and I do my cover out. Mr. Burton, let's grab you a G-top real quick so I can better show the concrete facial. It does not come with a mani-pedi, but I'm sure if you asked well enough that they would give you one. No hurry, Mr. Burton, but hurry. All right, that's fine. I don't need one in that. So let's come this way. So we have them on the ground, and I reach down to get the collar, and then I reach in to get the collar. I'm going to lift and then slam the face down. Boom. Then I have my other 2 shots, and then I drop, and then I go. One time from the top so you see the actual technique leading to that, not just my shortcut version. Slide this way some. Punch comes in. Base technique stays the same. I drop him down. The better I keep this up, the better for me. I have positional control. I'm going to reach behind and get into the collar. Reach in front and get into the collar. I have a nice little choke I can do here if I want. Lift with your legs, not with your back. As I lift, my right does more of the work to get him turned over, so then I can smash his face into the ground. I drop, I kick and strike, and then I step over, and then I'm done. And that's the extension for sleeper. Black belts, I want you to do your best on your own to reconstruct that. If you have questions, IM me through Facebook or email me, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Adults, this has been your technique video series, finishing up crushing hammer, and then showing you your punch techniques, sleeper, dance of death, and thundering hammers. Thank you so much. Hope you're being well and enjoying some sunshine if you can. It's a gorgeous day out today. We'll see you next time.